Happy Saturday, you too. Hope you guys are having a great one. I wanted to get on here and share with all of you guys how to sue telemarketers that are calling you illegally. You can make some real money every single month if you follow these next few steps. Think about how many illegal phone calls you're getting every day. Text messaging, phone calls offering you insurance, auto warranty, solar, and the list goes on, right? But every day, we all get a ton of phone calls, whether on our cell phones, our home lines, and most Americans are sick and tired of receiving these calls. Well, if that's you, you want to listen up. In the last 60 days, I personally have settled 6 figures worth of do not call and TCPA violations for myself, friends, and family in the last 60 days. Doesn't matter how old you are, if you have a phone and you're sick of getting these illegal phone calls, unsolicited, then you want to listen up. First of all, let's talk about the laws that they're violating, and that is the do not call registry. So if you register your phone number on the DNC, that's the first violation. They're not supposed to call. They are blocked from calling you. The second is TCPA, your Telephone Consumer Protection Act, which states that if your phone number is on the do not call list, they may not call you, use robo-dialing, use avatar, artificial intelligence, press one campaigns. They can't use that. If your number is on the DNC, they can't. But every day, I hear from people that say, man, I'm on the DNC, but I'm still getting phone numbers. Man, how do I get them? Well, my goal today is to share with you how you can do it successfully. These settlements that I've won never made it to a courtroom because I was able to settle before that. Because I was able to help these companies that were using these companies, outsourcing them. I was able to help them understand that they were messing up. And I don't blame them to a certain extent because I've had to do my homework and no excuse. But if you get on the phones, you got to understand these laws. A lot of these agencies rely and they follow what these outsourcing companies that live in a different country, and they buy that these companies overseas are doing it by the books. And it's easy to fall into that trap because they see the price discounts on their leads, so they fall for it. And that's what gets them in trouble. Right then and there. A little bit about myself. I've been selling insurance for 18 years. So I've been in a highly regulated industry all of my career. But over the telephone, I've had to learn these laws over a decade. I have had to force myself to understand them. And what's funny is that I'm not in the business of suing people, but I'm not afraid to. 60 days ago, in a meeting with my insurance agents, I was telling them, I'm sick and tired of these unsolicited phone calls. For those of you guys that know me, you know that just recently I got a new cell phone. because my old cell phone was getting bombarded all day long and it wasn't fun anymore. And I got a new cell phone. The new cell phone wasn't registered on the DNC. And I was getting 20, 30 calls a day. And in this particular day that I was with my agents, I was jokingly telling them, today's the day. Today's the day that I'm going to start suing these guys. My phone couldn't stop ringing from bullshit. And ladies and gentlemen, within 2 hours of me making that statement, and I have a group of agents that were there that witnessed this, I had my first violation. And within 72 hours of that phone call, I had a five-figure check in my bank, cash. Since then, I've settled 6 figures for myself and friends and family. And more my friends and family are hitting me up, asking, people that are not even in this business, that are not even in the insurance business, just consumers, people that are tired of getting these type of phone calls. In 2021, there was over 5 million complaints for robo-dialing. Let that sink in. 5 million. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you get in trouble for violating these guidelines. So now let's check this out. I've created a little checklist for you guys because I really want to help you and what to do. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer. We do have a legal team, but everything that I'm going to show you is stuff that I've done without hiring a lawyer. I have nothing against it, but you can do this without hiring a lawyer. So, step 1, when you receive a phone call and you look at your phone, right? You look at the phone and it says spam, it says block call. Get into the habit of hitting record. Record the call. Period. Now, some of you guys are saying, well, you know, recordings are illegal if you don't let that other person know. Certain states require a 2-party consent. Other states, 1 party, but you got to be a part of that recording. But hit record, and as soon as you pick up the phone call, say, this call's being recorded. Done. Most of these robocalls are robots. Let me tell you, they're robots. They're not going to pick that up right off the top. Play along. That's step 2. You got to play along. Because if you don't play along or you get offensive or you ask them right off the top, why are you calling me? They're just going to hang up and you're not putting an end to the problem. Step 3, find out the company's name that's paying this outsourcing group. But in order to get there, you got to play along. Because if you're relying on the fact that, well, I have their phone number, it says spam, but I have their phone number. How many times have you gotten these numbers and these calls and then you call them back and they're dead numbers, or they're of people that are totally lost on who you are? That's called spoofing. And spoofing is illegal. And what these centers do is that they mimic area codes, phone numbers that belong to other people. That's spoofing. And you'll get nowhere. I've had phone calls where I call back and it's the sheriff's office. What better example of spoofing than that? Or it's a bank, or it's an emergency room. That's spoofing. So you have to play along in order to find out who the company is in order for you to send a lawsuit or a demand letter. And what I like to do is I get the recording from the beginning, I play along, I find out who the company or carrier is, and then instead of sending a demand letter first, I like to make a phone call. I like to start off with a phone call. Hey, how you doing? I'm calling you because of this and this matter. I collect an email. Then I send my demand letter with the recording and highlights of the violations that were broken. And step 5, settle. The reason I like this is because if you call someone and tell them, hey, you violated my rights, sometimes they might say, oh, whatever, and hang up the phone on you. Or they might lawyer up real fast. And if they lawyer up real fast, it's only going to cost them more money. Trust me, it's only going to cost them more money. But you record to play along, find out the name of the company, get some names, get some emails going, get some phone numbers, because you can't rely on the information that's on the call log, because in most cases, they've spoofed the call. Then you send that demand letter. And step 5, settle. Last week, I settled a TCPA violations for one of my agent's moms. And within 12 hours of the phone call, we had a 5-figure cash deposit in our bank. And let me show you guys again. I'm not a lawyer, but I understand these guidelines. And if you're tired of getting calls, follow this setup. If you get to the part where you don't know how to set up the demand letter or make the phone call, you need a little help, but you don't want to hire a lawyer, call me up. I'll be more than happy to help you. Make that phone call on your behalf. And if I can help you collect on these violations in 72 hours, just give me a little percentage off the top if I help you. Because the lawyer's going to want 50% of the cash. But let me share with you an example of that letter after the phone call. My letter consists of a statement of events. And I want you guys to check this out, read it. And if you'll notice, I break down the day, the time, the phone number I received, and explaining them exactly what happened. And take a look at that right there. And just look at this. Take a close look. Take a snapshot. Because this is the demand letter that I sent the company. Here you go, bro. In this particular case, not only did I find out who the company was, but I took it all the way to the interview. When I got to the interview with the insurance carrier, I told this company who I was, because I was looking to find out who the carrier was. And in my demand letter, I also let them know my goal is to build awareness. I'm in the insurance business 18 years, guys. And American agencies that are hiring these overseas centers and they don't understand the damn laws are hurting the whole industry. Because let's face it, these countries don't have the complete understanding of our laws. And if they do, then that's a good group to have. And I'll share with you guys what that looked like. Just take a look at these settlements, real, regular folk like me and you, and I've really considered going to school and getting my law degree. And take a look at that. What do you want, cash? Just take a look. And these are folks, again, that violated this right and had to pay. This is a fact, guys. This happens every day. And a lot of these people, they're not even talking about this. They're not even, thinking about this. But the reality is that if you don't understand these guidelines, they're going to cost you. They're going to cost you to me or somebody else. So once again, guys, I hope this helped you. I'll be more than happy to help any of you guys. If you follow these 5 steps, you'll make money. Trust me. But if you need any help, if you get the recordings, you're playing along, you get the name of the company, but you get the step 4 and you don't know how to send a demand letter, or you want to make a phone call, or you don't have a legal team, give me a call. We have the legal team. But before we even include them, I can help you by making that phone call to these companies. And I'll tell you something that's pretty cool. Most of these companies that I've settled with, they've been very happy with me. In fact, the insurance carrier, this carrier right here, this is a very well-known carrier, has contracted me as a secret shopper, trainer, to keep their people up to date. So not only did they pay me, but they contracted me to help them with their compliance. So guys, I hope this helped you. Again, I've earned over 6 figures in the last 60 days for me and my family and friends. And this year, trust me, I'm going to go for all of them. Because if we don't fight these people back, then eventually all of us that are in the insurance business, eventually we're going to get shut down by over-regulation. Too much regulation makes it almost impossible to do business. And the only way we're going to get over-regulated right now is if these lawsuits continue to climb. I know a lot of you guys hate me for this. I know a lot of overseas centers hate me. I've heard some comments already that the day I land in Pakistan, I'm going to get my ass beat. Oh, well. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep saying what I'm saying. And I'm going to keep working with Pakistani centers, Filipino centers, Colombian centers that are down to do it by the books, down to do it right, down to invest in themselves and their companies, to understand these rules and these laws. And if you're not in that group, and you're an agency owner in the US of A, hiring people overseas, and you don't know what the hell's going on because you're only concerned about making money on the profit side of lead gen, shame on you, bro. And I relish when you send me your money. And if you guys are watching this, call me. I'll be more than happy to help you. And if you win a lawsuit, please send me your testimonial so I can share it. I'm going to be helping a lot more people on how to do this. And again, if I can help you win within 72 hours some cash money, just give me a little bit. All right? Peace. Bye-bye.